You are live. Okay. All right. Perplexity. Okay. Let's try this thing. Hmm. So this is we are live. Let's plex it. Okay. Perfect. So what question do we have? I'm thinking right now. When was the first nuclear plant built? So what we're gonna do is I'll start with the question and then we'll just keep diving into the rabbit hole of whatever is interesting to me. Okay, nuclear reactor. Look at these pictures. So beautiful. I like to look at these old pictures, very aesthetic. Look at this. Hmm. The development of nuclear power plants for electricity generation has a rich history spanning several decades. Here are the key milestones in the creation of the first nuclear power plant. Early development. The first time nuclear energy was used to generate electricity was December 21, 1951, at the Experimental Breeder Reactor 1, EBR 1, in Idaho. My pronunciations are really bad, so apologize. This reactor powered four light bulbs, demonstrating the feasibility of using nuclear fission for electricity production. Hmm. They powered four light bulbs with that. First commercial nuclear power plants, Obninsk nuclear power plant on June 27, 1954, the world's first nuclear power station to generate electricity for a power grid commenced operations in Obninsk, Soviet Union. Calder Hall, the world's first full scale power station, opened on October 17, 1956, in the United Kingdom. However, it was also designed to produce plutonium. Shippingport Atomic Power Station. This plant in Pennsylvania, USA, is considered the world's first full scale power station solely devoted to electricity production. It was constructed to the grid on December 57. It is crazy that we already built these things in 1950s. Other notable early plants, Dresden 1 nuclear power station located in Illinois. This was the first US nuclear plant built entirely without government funding. It achieved a self sustaining nuclear reaction on October 15, 1959. Yankee Row Nuclear Power Station, the third US nuclear power plant, it achieved a self sustaining nuclear reaction on August 1960. What am I thinking right now? I think who did this first? Soviet Union. Wait, so did Soviet Union build nuclear power plant before USA? Based on the search results provided, the Soviet Union did not build. Okay, here it says first commercial nuclear power plants, 1954 Soviet Union, and 1956 United Kingdom, and 1957 USA, Pennsylvania, USA. But okay, let's see what this says. The world's first nuclear reactor to produce usable electricity through atomic fission was the experimental breeder reactor. Check this out. It was 1951. Okay. So USA was the first. Atomic fission was the experimental breeder reactor EBR-1 in the United States. On December 20, 1951, EBR-1 powered four 200-watt light bulbs and eventually generated enough electricity. Okay. 954, Russia's Obninsk provided 5 megawatts of electricity to the power grid. 955, Borax 3, Idaho Idaho, USA generated enough electricity to power the small nearby town of Arco. In 1956, the Calder Hall plant opened in the United Kingdom. Okay. Who, hmm, when did the idea of using nuclear energy for electricity came about? The idea of using nuclear energy for electricity generation emerged in the mid 20th century following the significant scientific developments in nuclear physics. Here's a brief timeline. Early scientific foundation, the scientific groundwork for nuclear energy was laid between 1895 and 1945. Okay, that's a span of 50 years, with much of the crucial development occurring in the last 6 years of this period. During this time, scientists made key discoveries about atomic radiation, atomic change, and nuclear fission. Atomic radiation, atomic change, and nuclear fission. Wartime focus. Most nuclear research was focused on developing the atomic bomb as part of the Manhattan Project. This period was saw intense scientific and engineering efforts to harness nuclear fission for military purposes. Post-war shift to peaceful applications. After 1945, attention turned to harnessing nuclear energy in a controlled fashion for naval propulsion and electricity generation. This shift marked the beginning of serious consideration for using nuclear power for civilian purposes. First practical demonstration. 1951, the experimental breeder reactor EBR-1 in Idaho became the first nuclear reactor to produce usable electricity through atomic fission. Okay, okay. What's the current status? What's the current status of EBR-1? EBR-1 is no longer operational and currently serves as a museum and National Historic Landmark. Here are the key points about the current status. Let's actually check out some latest images. Okay, this is very interesting. What are we looking at? We are looking at the, okay, part of the core after the 1955 partial meltdown. This is the reactor building. It looks like in the middle of a farm, like middle of nowhere. And the view from the parking lot. Okay, interesting. We are here. Okay, let's look at this EPR1. They have basically turned this into a museum. Here's a big, massive engine kind of thing. Okay. EBR1 no longer operational, serves as a museum and National Historic Landmark. Decommissioned. EBR1 was deactivated by Argonne National Laboratory in 1964 and replaced with a new reactor, EBR2. Okay. It was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1965 and officially dedicated on August 25th, 1966. Dedicated by, okay. The facility now operates as a museum open to the public seasonally, visitor access, educational purpose, showcasing the history of nuclear energy and attracting around 10,000 visitors annually from around the world. Free admission, there is no cost for admission. Tour options, location 50 miles west of Idaho Falls at Idaho National Laboratory. Okay. IEEE milestone. In 2004, EBR1 was recognized as an IEEE milestone, highlighting its significance in electrical engineering computing. Hmm, interesting. How many active nuclear power plants does USA have? As of April 30, 2024, United States has 54 commercially operating nuclear power plants, 94 nuclear power reactors. These are spread across 28 states. Some key points about these nuclear power plants. Illinois has the most reactors with 11. accounting for 12% of the total US operating nuclear electricity generation capacity. Illinois has the most reactors, with 11 accounting for 12% of the total US operating nuclear electricity generation capacity. The majority of plants have multiple reactors. The largest US nuclear power plant is the Alvin Electric Generating Plant in Georgia, with four reactors and a total nameplate electricity generating capacity of about 4,000 megawatt. The newest reactor, which began commercial operation in April 2024, okay, in Georgia. The average age of US nuclear reactors is about 42 years old, with the oldest operating reactor being 9 Mile Point Unit 1 in New York, which began commercial operation in 1969. Okay. The oldest operating reactor is in New York. Very interesting. What percentage of US energy needs are met by the active by nuclear energy, let's say? Hmm. It's not talked about a lot. Let's see. Based on these search results, okay, nuclear power provided approximately 18.6% of the United States electricity generation in 2023, up slightly from 18.2% in 2022. Nuclear energy has consistently supplied around 20% of the nation's electricity since the 1990s. Nuclear power plants in US produced 700 terawatts per hour, terawatt hour of electricity, accounting for, sorry, I don't know, I forgot we studied this in university, but I totally forgot what terawatt hour is, accounting for 18% of total electrical output. Nuclear power is the largest source of clean energy in the United States, providing about 48% of America's carbon free electricity. Let me quickly check this. Okay, perfect. Providing about 48% of America's carbon free electricity in 2023. I'll quickly check if everything's going well in the feed. Okay. As of 2024, there are 94 commercial nuclear reactors operating in 28 US states with a total capacity of 97 gigawatts. Nuclear power plants have been operating at high capacity factors with an average. So, nuclear is a clean energy, the largest source of clean energy, supplies around 20% of the nation's electricity since 1990s. So, it's good. Okay. What? Hmm. Interesting. What? Why don't we scale it? Hmm. What are the newest? Newest? What are the latest nuclear plants in USA? Unit 3 and 4 located in Georgia. These are the first new reactors built in the United States in over 30 years. First new reactors built in the United States in over 30 years. Okay, so we are finally doing it. Began commercial operation in 2023, and Wa- Vogtle Unit 4 began commercial operation in April 2024. Each unit has a nameplate electricity generating capacity of about 1,000 megawatt. With the addition of units 3 and 4, Vogtle is now the largest nuclear power plant in the United States. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're finally doing it. They're doing it in Georgia. Here are the pictures. Hmm. If this is the picture, if this is the right image we're looking at, this is crazy. The In 1960s, we kind of achieved the perfect nuclear power plant look. They pretty much look the same. One of Waddle's, I don't know how to say this name, Waddle, new nuclear reactors is offline. Here's what we know. Do we get into the news? I'm not sure. Let's keep at Perplexity. Here's what are we looking at? Mm-mm. Images and loading. Okay. This photo looks pretty new. I'm guessing this is the main station, and this